What's up, guys? It's me, Noah, and this is CabbageTalks. Today I'm going to be talking about episode 4 of Hey Arnold, season 1. Helga's Makeover / The Old Building. Don't know what that was. I'm going to say this real quick, though. Next week, exams. I have exams. So, I will be doing Korra. I'm doing episode 9 and 10 of Korra this weekend, maybe Friday or Saturday, hopefully. I will get those out. But next week, if I do an episode of Hey Arnold, it won't be until later in the week. More like Thursday or something like that. I'm still kind of like getting into the groove and kind of figuring out my exact method on how I'm going to do these videos. So it's just kind of like troubleshooting, at least for like half of the first season or so. But I'll get into a groove, hopefully, soon. That would be good. But yes, Korra's coming. Hey Arnold is coming, just next week, expected later. Anyway, Helga's Makeover. This episode, this is a good episode. It has a lot of messages on like personality and, you know, fitting in with the crowd and stuff like that. But it kind of did it in an interesting way, I think, that isn't too typical of cartoons. Because most shows like this would put Arnold, or at least the main male protagonist character in this I guess, problem or issue. But it did it with Helga, which makes more sense, honestly, with her character and how she is and how everyone else is and how she interacts with other girls. So it just makes more sense. But yeah, it starts out with Rhonda, and this is the first time we actually see Rhonda kind of as an individual, like outside of the group of just like girls, and we see her as, you know, we know her as this fashion obsessed, you know, very trendy, kind of rich, upper class kind of girl. But in this, it's first kind of shows her as an individual character. So she's giving out an invitation to the slumber party, and she doesn't give one to Helga. Helga's talking to Phoebe at the store, and her feelings are kind of hurt just at the fact that she wasn't invited, and she kind of comes to the realization that, wait a minute, am I not girly enough? Am I not a girl? You know, because all the boys start making fun of her because of that. They're doing a boys only baseball game in the street, and she shows up, and they're like, "You're a girl," and then Harold, of course, the charming boy that he is, he starts to talk about, oh wait, why aren't you at the slumber party? Oh wait, because you're not a girl. And of course everyone starts chanting and kind of getting in on that. Right after that, we show Rhonda's party, and all the girls are there. And I'm just now realizing there's a girl with a unibrow on the right. So they're all having, you know, a good time or whatever, and they're kind of making fun of Helga. Helga sees it, and she goes to the store, she buys this Preteen Miss magazine, which, that scene's funny. I've always thought that, go back and watch that scene at the store, the convenience store, the corner store, it's hilarious. So she sneaks home, looks at it, and throws away her bow, which is very symbolic. Her bow is something that's very close to her and something that's very characteristic of her character. For her to throw that away means that she's making a drastic change and she's doing something that isn't her. Which I thought was very interesting. I mean, they show it and they zoom in. They're like making it clear, like, this is Helga not being Helga. This is Helga going way out of her zone, not even comfort zone, just her zone. So she's, you know, putting on all this product and whatever. Miriam, of course, comes to the door. She sees Helga and faints. She probably would have fainted anyway for other various reasons I'm not going to get into. She just doesn't have a very stable. You know what? Not gonna go into that. So all the boys are having falafels. You kind of want a falafel now. And Sid comes up and he's like, "Hey, Helga's all dressed up like a girl. We should go over to the party and crash the party." Okay, cool. So they all run over there and on their way to crash the party. Helga shows up to the party, and Phoebe wants to talk to her because she's like, "This, you're not even talking like yourself. Like, you're not being yourself. What is this? I like the old Helga better." And Helga's like, "No, She's kind of being delusional at this stuff. But I mean, on the inside, she knows, because when Rhonda tries to put on this guacamole face mask thing, Helga's like, "Whoa!" She like snaps out of it. She's like, "What are we doing? Why are we putting on like wrinkling anti-wrinkle cream or whatever if we're 9 years old?" And of course, the boys show up. They scare the girls because they weren't expecting it at all, and they kind of wore like tactical gear. The girls scare the boys because they're wearing green masks. They look like monsters. They all run away, and of course, Harold falls down. And comeuppance. The old building. This episode's a great episode. I forgot how awesome this episode was, and rewatching it was just great. This episode starts out with Arnold manning a wrecking ball, and Ernie's kind of coaching him through it. And Ernie puts on Dino Spumoni, who he says that inspired him to be a demolitionist. Ernie wants Arnold basically to be act as his son at his 500th demolition, because that's really important. That's when he really can become a true like demolitionist, I guess. So Arnold agrees. Arnold goes home, and his grandma wants to save this place called the Circle Theater, and it's where Dino Spumoni played, and he got his big start. And her and Grandpa Phil have a lot of memories there, so she of course wants to save it. So Arnold goes to talk to Ernie, and they're talking and stuff, and then he realizes, wait, you're tearing down the Circle Theater. Me and you are supposed to be tearing down the Circle Theater, but I'm supposed to be saving it with my grandma, because she's counting on me, but you're counting on me. Conflict. And he's really conflicted about this. Arnold had just no one to turn to but Grandpa Phil. So he talks to him on the roof, and honestly, he's not that much help at all. It's a pretty funny scene. So then the dinner scene is hilarious. This episode is fun, full of funny moments. The mashed potatoes. So they're arguing and stuff, and honestly, Arnold's fed up. So he just leaves. They're still arguing. He leaves and goes to the Circle Theater to actually see the place. And he goes inside, and he actually finds a way to save it. So they're all waiting for Arnold to show up, and they're both thinking that he's gonna come. He's gonna be there for them. And when he does show up, he shows up with Dino Spumoni. Everyone's shocked. They're like, "Whoa, Dino Spumoni." He would have made a big mistake by turning this down. So he really thanks Arnold for that. And Grandma, Pookie, right? It's Pookie, right? Yeah. Pookie, she's really thankful, because she has a lot of memories there as well, and she didn't want to have it torn down. So everyone kind of wins in their own way. For me, at least, watching it, I was just, Arnold presses play on the tape, and it just plays a song, and he's just in the tractor like this, and it zooms out, and of course, Ernie and Pookie are still arguing, and it's just like, yep. This is a great episode. Both parts, they both had very interesting messages to them. With the old building, you have Arnold trying to help two people that are fighting on opposite sides of an issue, but he's obligated to help both of them. But with Helga's Makeover, it's a very, it kind of goes deep into, I guess, individuality and gender roles. It's very interesting how they do it, and honestly, Helga's character was the best character to use for this, to send this message, I guess. It's very, it sends a very good message to young girls and young women. I like the episode for that. It did a good job of explaining kind of like, I guess, how society can determine what beauty is, and what femininity. I always say that word wrong. what that is, and what being a girl or what being a boy or whatever is. I mean, but I've always subscribed to the idea that people shouldn't be told what to be. That's all I wanted to say on those. I'll see you guys next time. I'll see you guys for Cora later this weekend, and Hey Arnold either next week or the week after, because exams. But you'll have to excuse me. I have a date with a plate of guacamole.